started right after pandemic. She told me about it a month or two after it started, that she'd stopped, and she was brokenhearted. I've known her since she was 16. I can tell she was truthful. I was confused and upset, but she agreed to marriage counseling and we stayed together. But 18 months later in 2023, she left her phone out with text up. When she was asleep, I picked it up to charge it. Screen opens with a POV picture her boyfriend took while fucking her doggy. I scrolled through. He'd texted her about 9 months before and asked her to come by again. I sat up all night reading 9 months worth of texts with shitloads of pictures from each of them. I forwarded everything to my email and confronted her first thing the next morning. Overnight, I downloaded text records from our provider, which doesn't include contents but shows when all the texts were sent, numbers to and from, and if pictures were attached. She begged me not to divorce her or tell her parents. Some of the texts were really graphic. Possibly they'd had a couple of threesomes with her best friend. Hard to tell if it was sexting or remembering. I collected up everything, put it on the hard drive and 2 thumb drives. I told her it stopped now, and if I had the slightest whiff of more contact, even texts or email, she'd be out on her ass. I told her we were seeing a counselor again, then contact a lawyer, made an appointment, and both of her parents died exactly 2 weeks later, before either appointment came up. They lived about 4 hours away. I went with her to start the estate stuff. Hell, I'd known her dad for 30 years. Some bizarre shit was involved. The estate still hasn't been settled in a year and a half. Her dad had squirreled shit all over the place. Only her mom knew where all of it was. There is at least $2.5 million, and more turns up every month. For all that time, we've been together daily. Seriously, she hasn't left my side. I'd started trusting her again. Then in January, she traveled alone to their lawyers. I never stopped keeping track of emails, though. Sure enough, while she's down there, she starts texting him again. When she gets home, I go through her texts. She'd forgotten to erase them. Turns out they were innocent enough. She'd sent him a gif of a cat that apparently looks just like his. But the conversation continued, friendly, when he suddenly wrote, "I still have pictures and videos of a couple who were really enjoying themselves. Why don't you drop by and we'll watch them? Maybe make new ones. I've contacted a PI. I want to get all the dirt I can on both of them. But the biggest question I have right now is how do I go about getting hold of the videos? That would seal things up entirely. The one thing that's occurred to me is that I need to hang on until the estate is settled." Edit. Enough people seem to think I'm complaining about my situation. Wrong. I'm blowing off steam before taking my next steps. Apparently, I didn't express myself well. I never forgave the second time. I just did what any decent person would do. I help her settle the estate. Not just for her, but her parents, too, whom I'd known for over 30 years. I never forgave her. I dealt with a bigger problem. Now her actions, and the fact that my part in the estate is over, is allowing me to deal with this. And maybe I'm mean-spirited, but when people start wondering if maybe I'm making up excuses to get divorced, which I've seen some of her friends and family do, I'm going to shove it down all her friends' throats. Getting the video from them or through a PI gives me breathing room if privacy issues come up.